Chapter 24. The Intuitive Entrepreneur. By Victor Covens. Starting and operating your own small business can be one of life's greatest experiences. It certainly has been for me. But it takes a certain kind of person, one with initiative, confidence, self-discipline, and a lot of determination. It also takes a person who enjoys overcoming many different kinds of challenges. The Silva techniques have made my experiences as a small business entrepreneur much easier and a lot more enjoyable. I use the alpha level daily to analyze problems and make decisions, and the more I practice, the more often I make the right decision. I first took the Silva course in 1974. The following year I made the Guinness Book of World Records by flying around the world on commercial airlines in less time than anybody had ever done before. In 1979 I followed my intuitive guidance and traveled 240 miles to go on a blind date. My intuitive guidance was correct. My date and have been happily married for more than 20 years. In 1987, through the intuitive guidance I got in a dream, I opened a cruise-only travel agency, specializing in group cruises. This has worked out especially well as I now organize several cruises every year for Silva groups. We hold classes and special workshops, and everybody loves it. The instructors who sponsor the cruises get to go for free. We spread the word about Silva, and we help Silva students learn to use even more of their mental abilities. The biggest, most important, and most satisfying thing I've done in Silva was to help organize a class for homeless people in my hometown of Baltimore. After completing the class, these homeless people had a 70% success rate in finding homes or jobs within 1 week. You can read about the project in Chapter 31. If you think I'm dedicated to the Silva ideas and techniques, you're right. I've attended 23 of the 25 Silva International Annual Conventions in Laredo. I am the only Silva Method newsletter subscriber with a lifetime subscription. I attended Jose Silva's 10-day Ultimate Seminar the last 7 times he taught it. I've organized and sponsored the Silva courses here in Baltimore. Better business decisions. Through the years, I have learned the value of going to my level every day in order to make better decisions in my business and personal life, and to get the guidance I need to continue to achieve even more success. Every small business owner must find ways to promote his or her business. With a little help from Silva, I found a great way to promote my travel business. As I mentioned, in 1975 I made the Guinness Book of World Records by flying around the world on commercial airlines in less than 2 days. It took me just 47 hours, 48 minutes, and 7 seconds to complete the 25,000-mile trip. I crossed the equator twice, landed in 9 countries, and touched points exactly 180 degrees opposite each other on the globe: Lima, Peru, and Bangkok, Thailand. I visualized and used mental projection to smooth the way. Every step went just as I programmed it. It was almost as though people were waiting for me, like they had been prepared by my mental projection and were ready to help me continue my record-setting journey. This made getting through customs easy. Making all of the connections from one flight to the next wasn't a problem either. I started in Lima and flew to Bogota, Caracas, Madrid, Rome, Bangkok, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and back to Lima. After the flight, I visualized getting into the record book. I think that was the most important thing. When I was in Los Angeles, I called the book's editor in London to ask him whether I should continue on, and he told me to continue. Before calling, I entered my level and imagined the telephone conversation. The one we actually had made the conversation I imagined seem like a rehearsal, because the editor used the exact words I imagined he would. When I was back on the airplane for the last leg of the trip, back to Lima, the pilot invited me to sit in the cockpit. He asked me which direction I wanted to land in Lima. I told him to land whichever way he thought was fastest and best. What was the secret of my programming success? One of the most important elements was the feelings that I incorporated into my programming. Every time I was at my level programming, I thought about how I would feel if I were already in the Guinness Book of World Records. I imagined seeing my name in the book and made it so real that I could actually feel the pride and sense of accomplishment seeing my name there. Even though there were some problems to overcome, the project was a big success. For example, one flight was an hour late because the pilot had to fly an extra 600 miles around Vietnam out of fear of being shot down. I just kept programming and projecting, and it worked. Everything begins in the mind. As you can see, there are many ways that you can use the creative alpha dimension to help you start and run a small business. Those of us who operate small businesses seldom have the kind of support that large corporations can afford. That makes it all the more important that we nurture our invisible means of support, as Jose Silva called it. There is plenty of information available to help you meet every challenge, and you can use your mind to retrieve that information, no matter where it is, and as long as you are doing what you were sent here to do, you will find it easy to get help from higher intelligence to keep you moving along at a rapid pace. Victor Covens has been such a big Silva supporter during the last 25 years that Silva international officials refer to him as a goodwill ambassador. He has promoted many of the Silva courses in Baltimore and has introduced countless people to the Silva programs.